The base and trend method, how I time my ETF entries. Hi everyone, Josh here, the ETF advisor. Today I want to talk about one of the hardest parts of investing, timing. Because if you look around YouTube and finance Twitter, almost every conversation is about what to buy. The best ETFs, the best dividend strategy, the next AI play. But knowing what to buy is only half the equation. The other half is knowing when to buy. And this is where most investors trip up. They buy too early while something is still falling, or they buy too late after the move has already happened. Timing isn't about being perfect. It's about being patient enough to wait for evidence. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the framework I use every week, the base and trend method. It's how I look at for ETFs that have stopped falling, built a base, and started moving into a new trend. Part 1, the big idea. Everything moves in base and trend. Here's the thing most people miss. Everything in life moves in bases and trends. Sales of Crocs shoes, Ninja Turtle merchandise, comic book values, tulips in the 1600s, property in your suburb, Bitcoin, gold. Look at any chart, zoom out, and you can clearly see the base and trend methodology in action. Every one of them has a period where nothing much happens, a base, followed by a period where everyone wants in, a trend. Then it tops out, corrects, builds a new base, and either does it all again or fades away. It is a constant cycle of base, uptrend, downtrend. Stocks and ETFs are no different. The only question is which stage the ETF is currently in. So let's define the two words that matter most. A base is a period where price stops trending lower and starts moving sideways. It's where the market is trying to decide what comes next. It's where the next trend is being quietly built. Bases can last anywhere from a few weeks to many years. A trend begins when price starts moving higher with structure, higher lows, reclaiming key moving averages, breaking pivot points, volume picking up. The ETF is no longer just bouncing, it's starting to move. The base and trend method is not about buying weakness for the sake of it. It's about waiting for evidence that sellers are drying up and buyers are taking control. The difference is critical. If an ETF is falling every week below its moving averages, making lower lows with no buying pressure, that's not a base. That's still a corrective downtrend. Don't touch it. If an ETF stops falling, moves sideways, forms a higher low, dries up in volume, and then breaks above a pivot on stronger volume, that is the market giving you evidence that something has changed. Buyers want in, sellers have stopped coming to market. So anyone who wants a position now has to pay up to get one. The goal is not to buy the bottom or sell the top. The goal is the best risk-adjusted entry with the greatest chance of success. We don't want our capital losing money invested in ETFs in downtrends, nor do we want our capital doing nothing in ETFs that are stuck in bases. We want to allocate capital to ETFs that are emerging from well-formed bases into uptrends. Part 2, the first sign something is changing. Before we get to the setups, you need to know what the first whisper of a trend change actually looks like. Because if you know what to watch for, you can stop chasing breakouts and start catching them. There are 2 early warning signs depending on which way the ETF is currently moving. For an ETF in a correction, which is going down, the first hint the trend may be changing is when the ETF makes a higher low, meaning the next pullback doesn't break below the previous one. Sellers are losing the energy to push it lower, and buyers are coming back into the market. For an ETF in an uptrend going up, the first hint the trend may be ending is when it makes a lower high, meaning the next rally fails before reaching the previous peak. There are no longer buyers willing to pay higher prices for that exposure. In both cases, once you have a higher low or a lower high, the next phase is a base. If that base fails to hold, the ETF either falls again or resumes the corrective downtrend. That's the rhythm of every move in every market. We spend our time focusing on finding well-formed bases. A quick word on moving averages. Moving averages are the second tool we use to confirm what stage an ETF is in, and they're not just lines on the chart. Large institutions watch the same levels to add to positions on the way up and trim them on the way down, which is why they often act as real support or resistance. A moving average is exactly what it sounds like. Take the closing price of an ETF for the last X days, add them up, and divide by X. That's your moving average for today. Tomorrow you drop the oldest price, add the newest, and recalculate. So the line moves forward in time. The 20-day averages the last 4 weeks of trading. The 50-day averages the last 10 weeks, roughly a quarter. And the 200-day averages the last 40 weeks, which is roughly a year. What it actually measures is the consensus price of the ETF over that window, what the average buyer has paid recently. A simple moving average, SMA, weights every day equally. An exponential moving average, EMA, weights recent days more so it reacts faster. When all three are stacked in the right order, the 20-day above the 50-day above the 200-day, and pointing up, the ETF is is in an uptrend. Every buyer over the last year is in profit, so there's no trapped supply weighing it down. When the moving averages start unstacking, the 20-day cuts below the 50-day, the 50-day below the 200-day, the trend is breaking and a downtrend is forming. That's why we wait for the stack to build before we buy, and why we use the same lines to tell us when it's time to leave. A quick word on pivots. A pivot is the specific price level we mark on the chart where the breakout would trigger, the line in the sand between still basing and starting to trend. It's usually the high point of the most recent tight consolidation inside the base, the level where sellers last drew the line. Below the pivot, the setup hasn't fired. Above it, on stronger volume, buyers have taken control. The pivot gives us three things in one number: a trigger to enter, a level to stop below if we're wrong, and a way to measure risk before we put a dollar on the table. Every setup in this video, bottoming base, DTP, and breakout with pivot, uses a pivot as the entry point. The setup just changes what comes before it. Part 3, the 3 base setups we look for. When an ETF is moving from base to trend, there are 3 main setups to look for. They often appear in sequence as the recovery matures. We've got the bottoming base, which is the earliest entry, the biggest upside with the lowest hit rate. We've got the DTP, which is double bottom, trend line, and pivot. This is a cleaner secondary entry. And the breakout with pivot, which is the most mature, cleanest, and often the highest hit rate. The trade-off is simple. Enter earlier and you capture more upside, but take more risk. Enter later and you get more confirmation that some of the move has already happened. There's no right answer. It depends on the ETF, the market, and your risk tolerance. Setup 1, bottoming base, the earliest entry in the method. This appears after an ETF has been falling and selling pressure is drying up. The upside can be huge, but the risk is highest because the trend has not yet fully turned. What to look for? A clear downtrend, a first low, often on high volume, price starting to base, a shakeout that undercuts the first low, recovery and higher low forming, a change of character, which is a strong green bar and expansion of that range, a pivot forming above the recent action, and a breakout above the pivot. Your entry is above the pivot. The stop is below that pivot area or the recent higher low. A real example here is HAC. HAC was in a clear downtrend, then made its first low in February on high volume. The first change of character came in early April with a strong green bar. A shakeout on 13th of April briefly undercut the first low, but HAC quickly recovered, formed a higher low, and printed another strong green bar on the 22nd of April, backed by improving volume. From there, the pivot formed, price tightened up, and HAC broke above the 20-day EMA and the 50-day SMA. That breakout was the entry. Setup 2, DTP, which is double bottom, trend line, and pivot. This is the second entry after the ETF has already started to recover from a correction. After most pullbacks, most charts still look damaged. The strongest ETFs repair first, and the DTP helps you spot them. What to look for? Strong prior uptrend, pullback or correction. First low forms, second low or shakeout forms, a double bottom completes, the downtrend line breaks, price reclaims or holds above the 50-day moving average, a pivot forms near or above the 20-day moving average, and your entry is the breakout above the pivot on stronger volume. Your stop is below the shakeout or a tighter level if the setup allows. The DTP is more reliable than the bottoming base because the ETF has already shown more evidence of strength. The double bottom shows sellers couldn't push it meaningfully lower. The trend line break shows downside momentum is weakening. The moving averages confirm the repair. The pivot gives you the actual entry. And now a real example, IKO. This is what it looks like when the ETF isn't being bought at the first sign of weakness, but after the correction has already started to resolve. The double bottom gave the reference point. The trend line break showed the decline was ending. The pivot breakout gave the entry. From that setup, IKO ran more than 50% in 60 days. IKO was one of the setups we covered in the newsletter before the breakout. Sign up for a free trial below to see what we're tracking before it moves. Setup 3, breakout with pivot. The cleanest, most mature setup. By this stage, the ETF has already built a proper base. It's trading above all 3 moving averages, price has tightened, volume has dried up, and the breakout level is clear. It's even stronger when the base forms a volatility contraction pattern or VCP. Each pullback inside the base gets smaller. First pullback might be 21%, the next 10%, the next 6%. That tightening tells you sellers are becoming less aggressive. The range is compressing, pressure is building near the pivot. What to look for? Strong trend before the base, a proper base forms, the price holds above key moving averages. Each pullback gets smaller, the VCP. Volume dries up near the pivot, a clean breakout level forms. Price breaks above on stronger volume. Your entry is on the breakout. Your stop is below the pivot or key moving average. The key point, a breakout with pivot is not just any breakout. A random breakout after a big vertical move is risky. The ETF is already extended. But a breakout after a proper base is different. The ETF has rested, absorbed selling, tightened up, and built pressure. When it breaks on stronger volume, balance may be shifting to buyers. And here's the real example, XMET. A long base can be powerful because prices spent a lot of time digesting supply. Sellers had multiple chances to exit. Buyers had time to accumulate. Expectations got reset. When price finally broke out of XMET's long base, it ran over 120% in 211 days. Not every long base works, but when it combines with a clean pivot, tightening volatility, drying volume, and a strong breakout, it's one of the most powerful setups in the market. Part 4, a simple step-by-step process. Find an ETF worth watching, a strong theme, improving relative strength, macro tailwind, or exposure you want anyway. I use Review ETF because it tracks 490 plus ASX listed ETFs. Identify the current stage. Is it a downtrend? Is it basing? Is it trending? Is it extended? Don't treat all charts the same way. Look for the right setup. Bottoming base if early in recovery, a DTP if it's pulled back after strength, or a breakout with pivot and VCP if it's built a clean base and tightening. Mark the pivot, the key level price needs to break. Check volume, should dry up near the pivot, expand on the breakout, and define the stop, below the shakeout, below the pivot, below the tight consolidation. Know where you're wrong before you enter. Check your risk reward. If the entry is too far from the stop, the risk is too wide, even if the ETF looks great. Enter only if the setup triggers. A watch list isn't an entry. A theme isn't an entry. A prediction isn't an entry. The setup has to trigger. Accept that some trades will fail. This isn't magic. It's a process. The goal is repeatable entries where the upside is meaningful and the downside is controlled. Part 5, false breakouts are part of the game. Not every breakout works. Sometimes price breaks above the pivot, looks strong, then quickly falls back into the base. That's a false breakout. They're frustrating, but completely normal. A failed breakout is often a sign of trapped sellers. People have been sitting in the base for weeks, months, or even years, finally seeing an opportunity to recoup losses or break even, and quickly exiting the position. In terms of the setup, it usually just means the base needs a little more time to shake out those sellers, so it's worth leaving it on your watch list. That's why the stop loss matters. It's not there because you expect to be wrong. It's there because you know you can be wrong. The goal is simple. Keep losses small when you're wrong, so one good winner can outweigh several small mistakes. Part 6, where this fits in a portfolio. This is not a full retirement portfolio strategy. A long-term portfolio still needs proper structure, a diversified core built around broad market ETFs, sensible asset allocation, a cash buffer, and risk control. The base and trend method is best used for timing entries into the satellite portion of your portfolio. Thematic ETFs, regional ETFs, commodity ETFs, sector ETFs, or higher conviction opportunities moving from base to trend. You're not trying to guess which ETF explodes tomorrow. You build a watch list, you wait, you let the ETFs prove themselves. The strongest ETFs move first. This method helps you spot them by watching price, volume, structure, and trend. That's the base to trend method. It's how I think about every ETF I cover in the weekly research, and it's why we caught setups like IKO and XMET before they ran. If you want someone doing the work for you, click the link below for our full Australian ETF research service, including our model portfolio, which is currently up 11.57% since June 2025 versus 7.96% for the broader ASX. We also get a comprehensive weekly ETF newsletter covering the latest Australian listed ETF opportunities. You also get updates on global investment themes, AI, robotics, cybersecurity, gold, commodities, areas Australian investors often miss. You also get a subscriber-only midweek videos with extra commentary and ETF insights, and ETF setup alerts when bases trigger, plus more. Here's a 28-day free trial, no credit card required. See the research, follow the model portfolio, and decide whether it helps you make better ETF decisions before paying anything. Plus, 20% off yearly subscriptions right now.